チュラルさんの強さ、信じてます。
The fantasy isekai genre probably doesn't require an introduction, especially given that we're at the point where people are reborn as vending machines. Anyway, the genre is extensive and encompasses some of my favorite high fantasy narratives. Many of these titles originated as light novels, making them seemingly suitable for translation into the visual novel genre. However, it's not always the case, but developer Water Phoenix takes a valiant shot with their visual novel Archetype Arcadia. While it delves into some profound themes, its length and reliance on flimsy plot devices detract from the experience as a whole.
大丈夫です。チュラルさんはすごい人だから。僕はそんなチュラルさんの弟子ですから。
Archetype Arcadia kicks off at the twilight of humanity. Two siblings, Rust and Kristen, embark on a quest to find any surviving individuals after a pandemic known as Picatomania, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but whatever, decimated humanity. Throughout flashbacks and brief conversations, we learn about life before the disease and humanity's struggle against it. Remarkably, to slow down the disease, infected individuals must immerse themselves in a VR game known as Archetype Arcadia, the same name of the game. Each day, they must enter the game, though full recovery is a distant hope. However, the game itself uses memories as a way to transform their worlds and essentially help them? I'm not sure. Anyway, Kristen happens to be infected, while Rust is not. Consequently, she journeys daily into Archetype Arcadia, a place inaccessible to Rust due to his uninfected status. One day, Rust discovers Kristen unconscious and decides to defy the rules by entering the fantasy realm and aid her. Despite initial warnings, he wakes up in the otherworldly place and easily finds his sister, but he does learn of a potential cure, and he chooses to stay in Archetype Arcadia in search of it. The in-game Archetype Arcadia bestows Rust with certain abilities, a welcome advantage as he is attacked early on. In this world, users have special battle-ready monsters known as avatars. The game's concepts and their usage are adeptly explained at the outset, leaving no surprises during gameplay when it was introduced. While the core premise of the world and Rust's missions appears straightforward, the narrative takes numerous detours, impacting the overall pacing. To begin with, the cast is overly extensive for this type of story. The notion that more is better often holds true, but not in this case, particularly given the game's length of 46 hours. An abundance of subplots, while enriching the world, distracts from the more compelling aspects of the story. Many of these plot lines could have been explained in half that time with fewer characters. Regarding Rust as a protagonist, I found him to be pretty intriguing. It's uncommon to encounter a voiced main character in a visual novel, so I expected Rust to be a distinct character rather than following the player's self-insert approach. However, his actions didn't truly captivate me until later in the game. Additionally, there are moments when you witness events from different perspectives, a valuable feature that helps fill in the gaps of certain plot points. Yet, even with these moments, they can drag on excessively. It appears that Archetype Arcadia anticipates players skipping through a significant portion of the text. This is most evident in the character interactions, featuring lengthy, over-explanatory scenarios that often reiterate plot points. Nevertheless, if you persist to the end, these lingering plot threads do come together at a fairly epic conclusion. The art style and illustrations aren't what I'm accustomed to, but I eventually grew fond of the character designs. They are remarkably expressive, though the animations can be somewhat off-putting. Chibi characters frequently dominate the screen, bouncing around, which can be distracting. Nonetheless, it does provide some entertainment as characters repeatedly emphasize their personality traits. Throughout the game, players can make choices that impact various aspects of the story. The game offers some useful features such as an autosave option for revisiting choices, and I particularly appreciated the touchscreen controls in the Switch version. Archetype Arcadia takes a courageous leap into the intricate world of Isekai fantasy, offering a unique look at a post-apocalyptic world. While the game's substantial runtime and large cast tend to dilute the experience, patient players will find a rewarding narrative that eventually weaves together its many plot threads into an epic conclusion. With charming art and useful features, it's a journey worth undertaking for fans of the genre. Just be prepared to navigate some lengthy scenarios and awkward pacing. Noisy Pixel is giving Archetype Arcadia a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.